Go before Scotland votes in their Parliament. Panorama examines Labour's fight to keep the Scottish National Party at bay. The battle lines are drawn in half an hour on BBC One Scotland. Following today's tragic news, there's a change to the schedule now, as BBC One Scotland pays tribute to Jill Dando.
Today, Jill Dando died in the most tragic circumstances. She was without doubt one of our most loved and respected personalities. Messages from you have been pouring into the BBC at a staggering rate of 1 every 2 seconds. The news is particularly hard to bear at this moment when she had found both personal and professional happiness in her life. Our thoughts and condolences go out to her fiancé, Alan Farthing, her father Jack and her brother Nigel. Everyone who knew Jill loved her, and I was among those privileged to count her as a personal friend. We all admired her professionalism and skills as a broadcaster, and I can think of no better way of paying a tribute to her than by celebrating her life with some of the very best examples of her work.
Holiday ideas. So fasten your seatbelts and join us for the next 250,000 miles of holidays. From Chiapas to Skegness and from Club Antigua in the Caribbean to Club 1830 in Ibiza. Here we go!
Well, this gave me a thirst for some underwater adventure of my own, a walk on the seabed. Well, they told me anyone can do it.
Here we go. I'm just dropping like a slow. Oh, this is something. Oh, my ears are on top. But this is absolutely fabulous. The noise you can hear, of course, is the air being popped down to me from above.
It may be only a few feet beneath the surface, but the sensation is an unearthly one. Indeed, astronauts are put through this kind of training to simulate the weightlessness of space. No cumbersome tanks on your back and no diving certificates required. Wonderful.
As we've just seen, Jill was best known as the presenter of BBC One's holiday programme, which she made her own from her first appearance in 1992. But she started her career as a journalist on a local newspaper in Weston-super-Mare. She joined the BBC in 1987 to present the regional news programme from Plymouth. This was to be her springboard to national recognition.
Here, with the flowers. I must just...
How many times have I done this now?
Disappear from the set.
Yes.
I had a little whip round for you and brought you an alarm clock. You don't have to be getting up ever so early now on breakfast time.
You're going to need them. Her first network job was as co-presenter of BBC Breakfast News in 1988. Jill was first and foremost a BBC journalist, and the story of Gorbachev being held hostage by the military during an attempted coup in Moscow broke while Jill was leading on Breakfast News. She handled it marvellously.
Good morning, the time is 7 o'clock. You're watching Breakfast News from the BBC. There is just one story this morning, the dramatic end of the Gorbachev era in the Soviet Union. He's been removed as president of the Soviet Union in what appears to have been a right-wing coup. 2 hours ago, the Soviet news agency TASS said that Mr. Gorbachev could not continue in office because of the state of his health.
Jill was particularly proud when she joined Nick Ross as presenter of Crime Watch.
Welcome to the new series, a new home for the programme, a new Tuesday slot, and a new partner in crime.
Hello, I'm delighted to be joining the programme. Let me show you around our new premises. We can now handle more calls than ever, almost 40 simultaneously, with the help of more detectives and more researchers. We also have all the lines to the incident rooms around the country, and you'll have noticed that Crime Watch has moved to Tuesdays. From now on, you can join us on the first or second Tuesday of the month. Now, as always, of course, the key to Crime Watch is you. Without your observations, the programme wouldn't be as successful as it is. We rely on you to spot clues and recognise details that hopefully will lead to the criminals being caught. There's been a lot of response to the June programme, and we'll hear about that later.
Jill supported many charities, but her special cause was the British Heart Foundation. This association stemmed back to her own childhood when, at the age of 3, her life was saved by a surgeon who repaired a hole in her heart. She was memorably reunited with her doctor on This Is Your Life.
Bo, what was your diagnosis?
Jill's mother brought her to see me when she was about 16 months old at Western General Hospital. I realised at once that you had a serious condition of your heart. You were a blue baby, and that unless something was done, you would not live very long. So I transferred you to Bristol Children's Hospital, where we had the necessary tests and x-rays done, and these showed that you had a hole in the heart and a blockage of the main artery to the lungs, the pulmonary artery. And unless this was dealt with an operation, you would not live. So that I referred you to Mr. Delphi at Bristol Royal Hospital, where the operation was done.
Jill was very much a three-dimensional presenter. She could inform, she could educate, and she could certainly entertain.
We've got some super smashing lovely guests for you tonight, Mr. Tony.
Well, with a lot of talent.
Absolutely. So let's meet them.
In the red corner.
In the red corner, will they be double tops tonight? Give a big bullseye welcome to Caroline Quentin and Leslie Ash. Be cocky on the ocky. Well, let's see. It's Neil Morris and Martin Clues. Welcome to Bullseye, all of you. I hear both teams have been thinking a lot of doubles and trebles in the pub down today, but let's see how your darts are, shall we? I think that's the most important thing. We're about to find out. You can't beat a bit of bully, as our friend Jim says, so best of luck to both teams, and let's play Bullseye.
Okay, so, to the ocky, Leslie.
We start, first of all, with Bully's subject board. And Leslie, as you can see, the subjects on offer tonight are football, cookery, pants, ricotier, lager, lingerie, Kylie Minogue, and flowers. So it's ladies first. 2 points for a correct answer, but if you're wrong, I'm going to have to hand it over to the boys for a bonus point. So, Caroline, first of all, give me a subject for Leslie.
Right, okay, I think for our first subject we'll go for, lingerie.
Lingerie. All right. Take your time, Leslie. All right. That's the way, sharpen first.
Go on, Leslie.
The question is, Caroline and Leslie, what's the size of the largest bra made by the top lingerie makers Rigby and Peller?
Oh, I know this one.
Is it?
It's 2 hands and a bit.
Well, yeah, but in technical terms, is it 42 double D, is it 48H, or is it the Dolly Parton double deluxe?
Neil,
I'd say. Well, I know you're wearing
I'm
it
going to
tonight.
go for the H, I think.
Do you get flakes?
The 48H? No, you don't get a flake with
Okay.
it. The 48H is correct, 2 points.
Most poignantly, Jill had found the man she loved and was due to be married this September to Alan Farthing, a consultant at St Mary's Hospital in London. Just a year ago, she was planning other people's weddings in Fasten Your Seatbelt, a program in which she learned to be a wedding rep in the Caribbean. What the viewers didn't know was that she'd already fallen in love, and there was no doubt that she was thinking about her own romance when she was present at the wedding ceremony.
The big day and a last-minute run-through with Andrea.
The word for marriage,
Yeah.
casado.
Casado.
And then he'll go on.
Oh, my God.
I'm panicking.
I am panicking.
What can I say? I mean, my first wedding ceremony was very nerve-wracking.
Was it? Oh, you look fab. I hope the roses are the right colour.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Pairing with everything, so that looks lovely. 15 minutes to go to the real thing. Hola, Razzo. Now then, is everything here?
Let's make them that they don't eat the cakes here.
They don't cut the cake
Just,
here? Or don't
to
eat the
cut,
cake?
not to eat.
Why?
You understand? Why? Because of the scent. You understand what I mean?
Now then, are we going to have this carpet brushed and everybody's on it and ready to go?
Jill, if they keep these glasses like that,
We're going to blow over.
for sure, down. You'll see.
Tráigase la chaqueta y se la pone aquí mismo.
Wedding by committee. I don't like this very much.
Y míreme lo de la tarta.
How are you feeling?
Oh, not too bad.
Can I give you a kiss for your last day as a single man? Do you have something stronger to keep it up? Do you have a- Can you tie it round? Ooh. What time is it? What's Uncle doing here? It's 4:05 and he should be over the other side of the hotel. I was feeling especially emotional about this one, and it so nearly didn't happen. In richness and in poverty, in sickness and in health.
I do.
In the year 1998, in the Hotel Paradisus, in front of your witnesses, I now declare you husband and wife. Congratulations. Oh, that was wonderful. That was really lovely. I just broke on the husband and wife.
The holiday program made two of Jill's childhood dreams come true. She was making a film in Vienna in 1996, the highlight of which was the opera ball. Jill thought her partner for the evening was an Austrian prince. She'd even brushed up on her waltzing skills for her moment on the floor. Little did she know she was about to meet her teenage heartthrob.
It's absolutely wonderful. I've never seen so many layers of tulle, velvet, lurex. Oh, so glamorous. Wonderful. Let me at it. This truly is a Cinderella fairy story. I came here unescorted, but I'm told that a prince is waiting in the wings. His name is Marcus Salvatore von Habsburg-Lothringen. It's not!
Jill, I'm so sorry about this. I mean, poor Prince Mark, he had no chance. I nobbled him. I let his tyres down so I could get here.
I have my nose shining out.
You're too close. Well, I mean, I haven't gone to Cleethorpe Town Hall to go.
I can't believe it. I didn't know anything about you being here.
I know you didn't. I know you thought it was Prince Marcus, what's his name, didn't you? Well, it's not. I'm afraid it's got to be me. Listen, do you mind if we wait for a waltz? I'm not sure I could do this.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
Do you mind if I whirl her away?
Oh, well, I can't believe it. So you realise, Richard, that you have just brought the whole Vienna Opera House to a standstill?
I don't know about the whole opera house, but certainly all the photographers and various TV cameras will be pointing in that direction. I'm not sure it's me, though.
Oh, I think it is.
No, I think you're the head turner.
No. Oh, okay. They all seem to know your name.
Well, they know my name, but they've forgotten what I look like.
You know what I feel like? I feel like perfect Miss
Jill's other slightly more lofty ambition as a child was to become an air stewardess. Well, her opportunity to fly at 35,000 feet in a polyester uniform was realized when Dando flew to Orlando on board a Boeing 767 as a fully fledged member of the crew. She found this to be one of the most difficult assignments she'd ever undertaken for television. To fulfill safety regulations, she had to sit a real no-nonsense exam and achieve a high pass mark in just 2 days instead of several weeks. But, like everything else she did, she not only passed, but achieved 98%. But, once up in the air, it wasn't quite so easy.
Well, I've learned all the theory. The time has come now to put it into practice. Today, the destination is Orlando and the passengers are real. The inside of this Boeing 767 is no mock-up, and in the terminal, 309 ticket holders are expecting to find this month's in-flight magazine right at their fingertips. And whilst the pilots Ken and Keith board with their flight papers, I get to stock up the toilet paper.
Boarding pass there, please.
Oh gosh, the loo rolls will come out now. During the flight, we've got to check this toilet every 20 minutes. I didn't do anything. This is breaking, honestly. It was like that before. Honest, my lad.
It's come off the runners and say.
How did that happen? It didn't happen when I did. Honestly, it was like that. Is that it? Yes, it's been fixed. Oh, that's our hero of the hour. Thank you. Hello. Good morning. Would you like to come to your boarding card, please? Do you know where you're sitting? Have you got your boarding card? Do you know where you're sitting? Row 11F. If you just go down here and go down to the left there. All right? So if you follow that through there. Thank you very much. No, it's not. I'm sorry. I've got the wrong one. Sorry, down here. Follow that along there. Behind that, and then go to your left. Got it wrong. I'm sorry. Oh dear. I wonder what Debbie thinks.
Fabulous, absolutely wonderful. She's boarding the passengers and there's no problems as yet. Everybody's seated and everyone's really happy.
Good morning.
You get all the good jobs, don't you?
I don't think this is one of the best.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that 1 minute.
When I start spilling coffee in your lap, you'll change your mind.
Yeah, that's fine. We're all boarded. Yes, 298 +2.
Next responsibility is the safety demonstration. I mean, it should have been theory. I did it in the lessons, but it'll be interesting to see everyone's beady eyes watching you when you're doing it. And I'm told that lots of people try to put you off as well, so he's laughing down here. He'll put me off.
Boeing 767-300 series have 80 emergency exits. Turn clearly marked at the front and rear of each cabin section. The exits nearest to you are being pointed out by the cabin crew. For those passengers unfamiliar with the operation of the seatbelt, it is fastened, and adjusted, and unfastened like this.
Off to work. You have to bear with me, so I'm a bit slow. Haven't done this before. There you are, thanks very much. Would you like ice and lemon with that?
You wish you were sitting down here.
I will. That's where I normally sit, you know, on these trips. Sorry. This is so difficult. They always make it look so easy on the planes I fly in. Probably because they've had a lot more training than I have. There we are, in coordination. Now, you've got everything, yes, good. Onward.
Jill was at the peak of her career and working across the full range of programs, but her skills as a journalist were always the most important facet of her career. At a time of national crisis when Princess Diana died, it was fitting that her contribution took place among the people who had gathered outside Buckingham Palace.
Well, this is the scene in the Mall this evening. Already hundreds of people lining the route, prepared for a damp, possibly showery night, so that they can pay their respects tomorrow to Diana, Princess of Wales. People have been coming from all over the country to really be a symbol of a united kingdom. A kingdom, it seems, already so united in grief. People have all their own memories of Diana. They want to share them with other people. They talk about her constantly. They also are rather shocked and still have a lot of disbelief that such a young woman, such a vibrant, caring young woman, has had her life cut so tragically short. A family here just behind me, they're already bedded down for this evening. Can you tell me why you're prepared to stay the night here?
It's just something I've got to do. Just got to be here, pay my respects to Diana. She's just, nobody will ever replace her. Nobody could try. We've just got to be here. It's the last thing, the only thing we can do.
Are these your sons down here, are they? What did Diana mean to you?
She was kind and she did a lot for other people.
She's a very special lady.
Have you ever done anything like this before, camped out in the freezing cold?
No.
Do you think you'd do it for anyone else?
Probably not.
Practically everyone in Britain, it seems, wanted to live next door to Jill or go on holiday with her. Her audience instinctively understood that she was sincere, had no airs or graces, and a tremendous ability to connect with people at all levels. It's no surprise, therefore, that when she made an appeal for the Kosovan refugees just a fortnight ago, it raised the staggering amount of £10 million in just 6 days.
This Easter weekend, we've all become aware of the humanitarian crisis facing the Balkans as thousands of people from Kosovo have left their homes and arrived on the borders of neighbouring countries. This is a massive exodus. Around 600,000 people are on the move. These refugees have been walking for days. When they arrive, they're dehydrated, hungry, exhausted and cold, and yet there's nowhere to house them. The main countries they're fleeing to, Albania, Macedonia and the region of Montenegro, are poor and they can't cope with this mass influx. That's why the Disasters Emergency Committee is today launching an appeal on behalf of 12 leading UK aid agencies. They need your help to provide food and shelter to the refugees who have nowhere else to turn. The temperatures in the Balkans still drop to below freezing at night, and yet thousands of people are having to sleep outside. Keeping warm is virtually impossible. The refugees need shelter. Food is scarce. Children and old people are the least able to cope. Some are already losing the fight for life through sickness and exposure. And the aid agencies fear that disease will take hold if clean water and proper sanitation isn't provided quickly. Most aid agencies were already working in the former Yugoslavian region, and they were quickly in action, but to meet the massive demand of this humanitarian crisis, they need your help. And you can help by making a donation. Whatever you can afford can make a big difference to these people's lives and their chances of survival. £5 buys 2 good winter blankets. £8 would put a coat on a child's back. £10 provides a hygiene pack with soap, shampoo, toothpaste, nappies for the babies and towels for washing. £30 feeds 3 families for a month. £100 will buy a family tent to provide shelter for up to 6 people. So you can make a difference. You can call now on 0870 60 60 900. That's 0870 60 60 900, and you can make a donation with any credit or debit card. If you can't get through, please keep trying. The lines are open 24 hours a day. Or you can send your gift by post to the Kosovo Crisis Appeal, P.O. Box 999, London, EC4A 9AA. That's P.O. Box 999, London, EC4A 9AA. And please make your cheques payable to the Kosovo Crisis Appeal. Or you can make a donation in any high street bank or post office. Please give as much as you can afford. Thank you.
And in Jill's last series, Holiday took her back to her childhood home. Jill never forgot her roots, as this film made in Weston-super-Mare shows.
The enormous sandy beach has to be seen to be believed. On the beach, the youngsters have fun galore with fire engines, trains and chariots of all kinds. A perfect picture of juvenile joy.
Well, Weston-super-Mare has certainly changed a lot, even since I was a child, when a striped windbreak, a thermos of tea and a good old strawberry split were enough to keep me happy. But it still has seaside charm, and call me old-fashioned, but there's something rather special about a family day out on the British coast. The main focus in Weston is definitely the beach. 7 miles of sand and plenty to keep everyone amused. When the crowds have gone home, you'll often see tremulous teenagers behind the wheel of their parents' car learning the basics of driving. It was me once, in a car exactly like this. I think I terrify my mother coming along here. Another motorist. I got you, babe. I got you, babe.
We end our tribute to Jill with these thoughts. The Prime Minister Tony Blair said, "I'm deeply shocked. I met with her both professionally and socially at Downing Street. In common with many people, I found her charming and highly professional." Her Majesty the Queen was shocked and saddened by the death of Miss Dando. Director General of the BBC, Sir John Burt, said, "Jill will be forever remembered for her sweet, unaffected elegance." Martin Clune said, "Jill stood out among television presenters. She was likeable, genuine and sincere." Jeremy Paxman said, "You couldn't have met a more lively, generous person." Sir Cliff Richard said, "I'm absolutely shattered. Jill's family and Alan have all my love and sympathy." Sophie Rhys-Jones said, "I'm deeply shocked and upset to hear of this terrible news. My heart and prayers are with her family at this time." And Nick Ross said, "Jill was truly the most popular person in the industry."